and I'm like on to year 2 because like I got to go out there and prove myself again.
This is what we call the DB's prayer. Right now, he's praying to the football God that he drop it.
Okay, man, we got a fake laugh. Welcome in, Commanders family. As always, we have a special show for you today. For the first time this offseason, we are catching up with our QB1. That's right, we will sit down with Jayden Daniels, and we are looking back at JD5's most clutch plays from his rookie season. There were a lot of them. We picked just 5. And we are talking about the Commanders' biggest moves this offseason. Lord knows there was a lot of them. And all that starts right now. Welcome into the best Commanders coverage in the land. I'm Brian Cole Jr. here with Mr. 8 to the 9 Santana Mouse, the mouth of the South, Fred Smooth. I ain't giving you Mr. 2 to the 7 no more. And then the legend, Logan Paulson. We are all in the building. And fellas, some big news broke last week.
Yeah.
After we recorded our show, we will be participating in Hard Knocks during the season with the rest of the NFC East. Tanner, I know you're excited about that.
Must see TV. You have, I guess you could say, a young quarterback that played lights out last year. His team as well, with the head coach of Dan Quinn, and just everything that we did. And then you talk about our division as a whole. Yep. You got the Cowboys. Yep. You got the Eagles who just won a Super Bowl. Yep. You have so much to look forward to, and the Giants. I'm not going to leave them out. So I'm just happy it's just not us that they're going to be watching all closely and every day. Yep. But I think it's must-see TV that everybody wants to know what the NFC East is all about.
And Fred, there's nobody that's must-see TV quite like you. Did you ever get to participate in the Hard Knocks?
No, first we walked by the camera. No, back in the day, Hard Knocks used to be kind of like a knockdown.
Yeah.
Like
it was worst team in the league, right?
Worst team in the league. So we never was that. We might in the middle, but we was never the worst team in the league. But I understand what they're doing right now. Think about it. Super Bowl champion win in Philadelphia. Like, the best running back in football plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. You got 3 of the best quarterbacks when you go Dak, when you go our quarterback, when you go Jalen Hurts. Then you got the New York Giants, who, regardless of how people feel about the New York Giants, they got a team full of talent.
Yes.
So if you're going to have any division on Hard Knocks, Super Bowl champions and a lot of playoff contenders, this is the division right here. Welcome to the show.
I mean, shoot, I'm just happy that it's the Commanders. Because as a fan, we get to see this unprecedented access. And I will say Hard Knocks does such a great job of telling stories.
Yeah.
And so to see, maybe learn something about the roster, learn something about their process as coaches, maybe something behind a specific call in the week, that's going to be really a lot of fun to watch.
Just make sure Fred don't try to sneak in there and get on that episode. You see him in the back of the meeting room
I'm
like
going to dust that jersey off, jog in the parking lot, you know what I'm saying? Got to do something.
Hey, man, so much excitement. And honestly, that doesn't happen if you don't have top to bottom things going right, kind of like you pointed out, Fred. And a big part of that is Dan Quinn. And Dan Quinn is doing a lot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's getting a lot of love. He was able to do the commencement speech at his alma mater, Salisbury University. Let's hear from the superstar, Dan Quinn.
Ball coach.
Which leads me back to where we started and the 4 words I wish I was told when I was in your chair. And now I live by. So, ladies and gentlemen of Salisbury University's class of 2025, let it fucking rip.
There's one thing Dan Quinn knows how to do, and that is inspire. I bet you every kid in there got a job immediately after he said that. Now, DQ and the Commanders are back on the field this week for Phase 3 of our offseason training from out here in Ashburn, Virginia. Now, what's up next for the Washington, you may ask? Minicamp is slated for next Tuesday through Thursday. Now, Logan and myself had a chance to catch practice from the sidelines earlier this week on a live edition of Field Pass. Check it out. It's time for Best Seat in the House, presented by SeatGeek. The most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Seeing this drill right now, Logan, kind of walk us through what they're doing. It looks like they're kind of going through the route tree here with the receivers.
Like routes on air, and again, like you talk about day 1 install stuff, right? We want to walk, we want to crawl before we can walk, right? So we're going to work on basic stuff. We're going to work on our 3-step drop stuff. We're going to work on the spacing. We're going to work on the timing. We're going to make sure everybody's getting a rep, right? It's not, hey, Zach goes, John goes, we're on to the next thing. It's not, Terry and Debo go, we're on to the next thing. It's like everybody gets a rep, everybody's catching a ball from all the different quarterbacks, and I think that's extremely important just so we can coach it consistently. That's something else I appreciated about Cliff coming in last year, or whoever brought this with them, is everybody's catching a ball every time we run routes on air. I've been part of organizations where that's not the case, right? The one quarterback, one ball, one catch, everybody else finishes through the drill. Here, there are 4 quarterbacks, they're all throwing to a different receiver, everyone gets a touch, and everyone gets to build a relationship with a different quarterback, which I think is fantastic.
Clearly, there's a lot of value in getting these guys touches, getting the ball in these guys' hands. Now, you mentioned Cliff Kingsbury, so I want to go back to Zach Ertz and that trust, because you've been a tight end in a room where you have had to build trust with a quarterback very quickly. But I don't know if I've seen a rookie quarterback build a chemistry so fast with a guy like Zach Ertz who's been in the league so long. Right. It's got to be pretty special, right?
Well, I think that's a testament to Zach, and he's done it in Philly. He did it with Foles. He did it with Wentz. He's done it with Hurts. Anywhere he's gone, Kyler Murray, he knows what quarterbacks want. Like in talking with him, one of the things that sticks out to me, he's like, he's going to go talk to the quarterbacks the way he sees routes, the way he sees coverage, so that he understands, like, even though I might look covered, I'm going to take this route at a certain depth. I'm going to take this angle coming out, so I will be open. And I look at that and I say that's what makes him, again, talk about what he does physically, but talk about the intangibles that he's imparting to the rest of that room. Ben Sinnott's going to see him build that relationship with Jayden and say, these are the conversations I need to be having with Jayden. And I think it's such an awesome resource, and I can't overstate the importance of it.
Always great being on the sidelines with my guy Logan Paulson. You can catch me in the mouth of the South, Fred Smoot, on the sidelines next week, so make sure you tune into that. Now, here's a look at some of the newest Commanders out on the field for OTAs. And fellas, a lot of fresh faces here. Of course, we know we added Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil through the trades, but we also added Jonathan Jones with some Super Bowl experience to our roster. Now, let's break down some of these big offseason moves. It's time for Securing the W, presented by Hercules Fence. Security in every job. Now, fellas, we saw all of these additions. Another free agency in the books. Feels like we won it just like we won last year. Logan, I'm going to start with you. When you look at these additions, who stood out to you the most, and who do you think makes the biggest impact?
Yeah, so everyone wants to talk about the additions. Isn't that great? Because it's like Christmas. You get all these shiny new toys. Everyone's excited, right? But I like the guys that we're able to keep, right? Keep in-house. And look at Zach Ertz, look at Bobby Wagner, right? Look what Zach was able to do from a third down standpoint, man. He was outstanding last year. 66 catches, 37 catches, 4 first downs on third down. Think about what that's doing for your offense in terms of keeping you on the football field. And then Bobby Wagner, 132 tackles, but I think that's the smallest part of what he does. I think his leadership, the way he commands the defense, I think that's what makes him special. So keeping those two pillars in the building that can now teach these new additions, I think that's the thing that makes this really, really special, and why those are extremely important for this offseason.
And Tanner, when you look at those additions as well, who do you feel is going to stand out to most to you, and where you say, like, you know what, we hit it out the park with this guy?
Well, I think when you look at it, man, we talk about Tunsil, we talk about, Samuels. I feel like those guys alone is something that you should have high on your list, just knowing what it does for your offense. You're talking about protecting your number one asset, your quarterback, JD5's, and then you're talking about adding a new weapon. And I feel like we was phenomenal with just the guys we had last year with the quarterback at him. So having both of those guys, man, that's the way you hit it apart.
Yeah, and I think the fact that they're both premium positions, right? Think about what receivers are making right now. Think about what offensive linemen are making, specifically left tackle. Think about how hard it is to find one of those guys in free agency. It's so challenging. So to get those pieces in-house, and they're no slouches, right? They've been very productive players in this league. So not only is it the type of player that they're bringing in, but the positions that they're playing and the monetary value that the league assigns to those.
And Fred, when you look at how we did free agency, right? Adam Peters said it. He said, we did so well in free agency, we can play today. And that was before the draft. However, we had a phenomenal draft class, adding some big guys. Man, how do you think they fit to what we're already doing?
Well, first of all, I still owe the fan base the Josh Connolly challenge. I haven't did. I was supposed to do it, but these old knees.
We can walk away from that. We don't have to do that.
I can't walk away from a challenge.
I feel bad. I shouldn't have done it, man.
But when I see Josh Connolly, that's reinforcement to me. Because when I watch what the Giants did in their draft class, and Sexy Dexy and all that defensive line up there, and Michael Parsons, protection is the first thing that came to my mind. We got to protect JD5. And when you go get a guy like that and you book him with a Laramie Tunsil on the other side, that tells me where your mind is at. It's in protection first, and we'll do reinforcements later. Then you get a guy like Trey Amos. Like, you got to understand, they just got Pickens in Dallas. They got CeeDee Lamb already. You got Malik Neighbors in New York. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith in Philadelphia. You had to get reinforcement for the back end. And then Kate Madrono, I think he's going to be, when we look back on it, because there's always this one guy that exceeds expectations out of draft class. When we look back, I think it'll be Kane Madrono that does that.
And Fred, I want to go back to the top of what you're talking about with the offensive line and adding that, right? Because that seemed to be a point of emphasis, not just with Laramie Tunsil, but also taking Connerly so early. Can you put into words why that was such a big point of emphasis for this front office, especially when you look at the NFC East?
Well, when you look at the NFC East, the Super Bowl champion is in our division. The Super Bowl champion had the best offensive line and one of the best defensive lines. So what do? You mimic them and you go reinforce your offensive line, you reinforce your defensive line, and say we're going to beat them at their own game of trench warfare. And that's what they want. The last time we was great here in Washington, they had the Hogs on offense, Dexter Manley, Charles Mann on defense. They beat you up in the trenches. And right now, I think that's what our focus is we got to get these wild boars over there on offense to move people. When you have a great offensive line, it don't matter who's running the ball because he's protected, right? It don't matter who's throwing the ball because if you keep a quarterback upright, you got a chance to win. And I think that's what they went in, and that's what he did. Like you said, they feel like they can go out there and play before the draft even started.
And when you have the Rookie of the Year as a quarterback, it puts more emphasis to fortify that offensive line. Logan, when you look at Jayden Daniels, after the incredible historic rookie year he had, what are you expecting to see from him in his sophomore year, which we've talked about off camera, is even tougher?
Well, I think that's the thing that's really hard for me to negotiate as a fan of him and as a fan of football. It's like, where does he go? I mean, everyone looks at how efficient he was last year, touchdown interception ratio, completion percentage, efficiency on third down, efficiency on fourth down. Like, those numbers are insane. So how do you get better? And I think that's one of the reasons why the addition of the offensive line, the addition of Deebo Samuels is so important, because now you say, hey, man, maybe we could take a little bit off your plate and we still become more explosive. We're still more dynamic. We're more efficient running the football, and we're more explosive finding pass plays from Deebo Samuel. So I think the expectation, I don't know where you go. He's going to have to go someplace, right? I think that's the thing that's exciting. But the thing that I think is that everyone in the building seems to know that, and they've taken steps to kind of clean that stuff up for him.
And a big part of what impressed me with Jayden Daniels' tandem was his ability to connect with every different receiver. We were looking at that Jamison Crowder play earlier, and he connected with him and hadn't played with him at all. You know better than anybody what it's like building that chemistry when you come in, especially during this part, during that phase 3 part. Can you give your own experience and why it's so important for him to build that chemistry during this time with these new receivers?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When you have a guy that's as elite as a Jayden Daniels, the receivers just got to get in their spot. Be open. You know what I mean? Because the ball coming. And he showed you that every time when we saw these guys making those clutch catches in the last minute of the game. I don't want to take a lot from the guys who caught the passes, but Jayden was putting it in the right spot because that's the kind of quarterback we have. This guy's, his precision is second to none. And so I love the fact that, you might say let's get in here and let's get familiar with our quarterback if you plan on playing with 5 of them. You know what I'm saying? When you got a guy like him, man, all you have to do is be open, be in the spot that you need to be in, and trust me, it's coming.
Finish the play.
And fellas, all these guys that we spoke about, right? You're excited just at the prospect of them, but then when you think about them getting to play under Cliff Kingsbury and his offense, it makes you even more excited. Let's hear from our offensive coordinator.
He works extremely hard. I mean, that's all he kind of thinks about is how he can get better, and watches a ton of film, watches a ton of football overall, and so that organically really takes care of itself in a way when you have a guy who wants to be that great. And then just the pieces we brought in, high character guys that have done it at a high level, continue to try and take another step with the guys we have coming back. We're just working to get better. I think overall that's a group that's hungry, not just Jayden, but it's a group that's works really well together, very coachable, and wants to improve as a unit.
Gotta imagine Cliff Kingsbury is excited about this new look offense. It's something I know you guys will be excited for. We heard from Jayden Daniels. That's right, we saw JD5 ball out in his rookie season, leading the Commanders to an NFC Championship appearance and earning Offensive of the Rookie of the Year honors. No doubt an incredible and historic rookie campaign for JD5. Let's hear from him for the first time this offseason. It's time for your can't miss moment, presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official partner of the Washington Commanders. Did you really feel like you had time, man? I feel like when you do what you do in the year that you had, that rookie year you had, everybody wants a piece. Everybody wants you to talk. Everybody wants you to sit down and do an interview. Did you really get time to enjoy the fruits of your labor?
Yeah, I did. I think I had a team, and my family did a good job. You don't do nothing. You just take some time for yourself and recharge.
When you look back, if you've gotten a chance to look back, have you gotten a chance to reflect on really what that rookie year was, or has it just been going straight forward? Because I know you're a guy that's really locked in and don't look backwards too much.
Yes and no. I mean, I kind of got caught up in what I did last year, and I'm on to year 2 because I got to go out there and prove myself again. So a little bit I did, I was able to look back a little bit, but I was still moving forward the whole time.
Shout out to Jayden Daniels for taking time to kick it with us. An incredible rookie season for our QB run. And fellas, PFF ranked him 4 in the top 25 players under 25. He was behind Penny Sewell to tackle the Lions, Puka Nacua, and Kyle Hamilton. I don't know, fellas. I feel like Jayden.
I'm a DB guy, but come on, Kyle.
Come on,
Puka now.
You know what? Since we talking Jayden Daniels, let's show him some love because he had some huge plays, and we're going to show you 5 of the best clutch plays from his rookie season. It's time for Top 5, presented by UA Local 5 Plumbers, protecting the health of the nation's capital since 1890. Now we got Logan Paulson on the 1s and 2s. First play against Detroit. This was a big one.
What were you saying, Fred? Man coverage?
Man coverage, disrespect. No, not just man coverage. We ain't gonna even hide it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go press man, show him early in the play. He knew where he was going before the ball even got snapped.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those situations where you got a defensive back-minded D coordinator saying, this guy better show me better than he can tell.
Yeah, and you couldn't have handed it to him better, right? Like, if I would have handed it to him, I couldn't have put it better.
When I say dropping it in the bread basket, that's what Grandma used to mean.
And we saw this from Jayden Daniels all season. Let's rewind to his first primetime game against the Cincinnati Bengals. He ate it up with this play right here to Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. This is when he introduced himself to the world. This is when he said, I'm Jayden Daniels, I'm here to stay. In Washington, we got problems.
Yeah, I walked out of this game kind of speechless. Like, you know what? Just seeing something that I hadn't seen for a while over here. So just to see this game, being that he was so young at the time, hooking up with one of the guys that we consider the best, man, they said a lot that night.
37 to critical moment, and then again, we talk about deep throwing be his best attribute. Like that ball, I mean, couldn't be better, man.
I can say his placement of a ball puts DBs in helpless situations. You watch these last 5 yards of this DB run right here. This is what we call the DB's prayer. Right now, he's praying to the football god that he drop it. Tim, you know how we drop a ball, we get up and, you know what I'm saying?
And fellas, like Logan said, this is when the world found out about Jayden Daniels.
We all did.
When you rip that burgundy and gold, nothing makes the fan base happier than when you cut up the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's what he did right here on this play to Jamison Crowder.
Walk off.
I mean, and it's a tight window throw. And again, like this probably should go to Zach here. Right?
Yeah.
But the understanding of like they rep this play on Thursday before and understanding that Jamison's going to be there, find this spot, beat the safety, and again, just a perfectly thrown football.
Perfectly ball. But you say it should have went to Ertz. I say no, it went to the right place because I think they converging on Ertz right there, and that's what's giving Jamison the correct right there.
What are we talking about?
No, the ball was thrown right there. That's when the people go
It's
that
perfect.
way.
It's perfect.
Well, Logan, I got a feeling you're going to feel better because I know it's all about the tight end room. Well, the week after, he did find Zach Ertz, and this one won us the game in overtime. We all remember this game against the Atlanta Falcons.
Little angle route right here, man. Love it. And again, one of the best tight ends in the NFL, in my opinion, on third down. This was for the game, and like, what a catch, what a throw, what great time.
This is one of those passes I talked about, just how you don't have to be as open with a guy like Jayden Daniels or being at the helm. He just know how to fit the ball in there in any situation. That was a tight throw, and it was to one of the best in the business.
Hey, y'all see them tiny houses they building now? That was a tiny wonder right there, one of those tiny houses, and he fitted it in there.
And fellas, no surprise here, our very last play was the most magical moment we have seen in a very long time. The Hail Noah, as Fred likes to call it, this Hail Mary play. This right here made us realize, oh man, what's going on this season is extremely special.
We thought he was good. This when he said, no, I am special. All right? And these special moments right here, the throw ain't what did it for me. The patience to get a receiver hands to get down there, that's beyond your years right there. And just that walk-off right there. We was all in the stadium that day. We heard it erupt. I think it registered as a small earthquake in Maryland. This was unbelievable.
I almost had a small heart attack. It was great to see. What a rookie year for Jayden Daniels. We have no doubt he is going to build on that in year 2. But first, let's take a look at some of his numbers from his historic rookie season. It's time for winning numbers presented by the Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. And as promised, JD5's rookie numbers, a 69% completion percentage, over 3,500 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, and 891 rushing yards, adding 6 touchdowns on the ground. And fellas, that's just the beginning for our boy, JD5. Now, JD5's rookie season was a stamp on a phenomenal 2024 rookie class. And we all got a feeling this 2025 draft class is just as special. Especially our 6th-round pick who had our linebackers coach, Ken Norton Jr., excited and wanting to bring him in to the Burgundy and Gold. That was no other than UCLA's Kane Madrano. I caught up with him and talked to him about him and Ken Norton's relationship and why that made him want to pull up to the Commanders. It's time to raise hell with the rookies, presented by Intuit for Education, tackling financial literacy together.
And before you get here, you have that draft call. It's draft day.
Yeah.
And you get the call from Adam Peters and company, and they let you know you're going to be a Commander. Take us back there, man. What was that like for you?
It's kind of crazy. So there's a story about I had texted Coach Norton 3 minutes before he called.
Ken
before
Norton,
they called me.
coach.
Yeah,
Yep,
Ken Norton. So I texted him, and it was just a simple text to come get me. Like, I'm still on the board. Like, I'm falling. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, this is where, you know, I want to be back with Coach Norton, right? It'd be dreams come true, be prayers answered, and obviously they were answered. So, you know, just being able to text him, and then I get a call 3 minutes later from the Commanders, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, thank you, thank you, God, for answering my prayers. Like, I literally text him. I sat there and I just prayed for a second, and then I got a call. I was like, oh my goodness. And he says, Washington. AP got on there. It's like, AP, Washington Commanders. I got an old brew, and I was like, yo, this is crazy.
A prayer answered. Shout out to Kane Madrano for spending time with us. We cannot wait to see what he does this rookie season. Now, if you like and Raise Hell, our limited series, we will have more Raise Hell with the rookies. Those will drop every Monday to hear from our entire 2025 rookie class. Then we have the Command Center podcast every Wednesday, then Get Loud every Friday. Now remember, tonight, the Get Loud crew will be live, so make sure y'all pull up on Jenks and Smoot. Now, you know we like to have fun here on Command Center, and last year's rookie class has proven they like to have fun as well. Check out this phone call between Mikey Sanderstill and our quarterback, Jayden Daniels, where Mikey, well, wishes him good night.
Yo, bro.
Yo.
Is this ZB?
ZB. I said, nah, never mind. Yeah. So I'm gonna just see you tomorrow, bro. I was just calling to say good night.
Bro, what the f? You straight, dog?
Huh?
Bro, we good?
What you mean?
You just called to say good night.
Like, bro, good night, bro. You my dog, bro. I'm just checking in real quick.
I just talked to you 5 minutes ago.
I know that, but when, like, I say good night, bro. Like, sleep well, bro.
Bro.
Bro,
Good, bro.
I can't tell my homies, like, sleep well, bro. Get good rest.
Hey, bro. Bro, I don't know what type of shenanigans you're on right now, bro. But you're at the real bonkers right now. DC, what up?
Yo, what up, my boy? What you up to?
DC, what's good?
Hey, bro, I was just about to shut it down, bro. I was just calling to tell you good night, my G.
Bye, my
I can't tell you good night?
Hey, nah, you can't tell me good night. You don't go TikTok with me. I ain't with the TikTok game. I just told somebody to follow me that hang up on that. Hey, buddy.
Lo, what up, man? What you up to, bro?
Nothing. Just putting the kids to bed. Everything good?
Oh, everything good, bro. I was about to go to bed myself, man. I was just calling to tell you good night, bro.
I love it, man. I appreciate that.
Of course, bro. I'm wearing my Command Center shirt, man. I was looking at y'all faces, and I was like, bro, let me call my boy and, wish him sweet dreams, man. I hope the bed bugs don't bite. Bro, honestly, man, it's been a long day. I'm about to shut it down, bro. I was just calling to tell you good night, my G.
Oh, don't you start that. No, we ain't doing that.
What you mean?
No, we can't do that. Because everybody... Don't you around. I'm thinking something wrong. Let me go rescue him. I don't know where.
Fellas, I appreciate y'all letting me play on y'all phones a little bit. I'm honestly glad all y'all saw that video beforehand, because I feel like Tanner would have cussed me out for calling him that late.
I'm just glad I was wise enough not to go overboard, because my mama hit me something. It would be my damn son.
She know her baby.
Shame Miss Mouse. What's wrong with this?
Fred, I'm just glad you answered the phone.
Well, first of all, there's certain people you don't call after 10 o'clock. I am one of them. I told you I should have picked the phone up and said any place, anywhere, anytime, and hung up just like that.
Why didn't you do that though?
Because I didn't know he was joking with me.
But the second he says, "Hey man, we'll call to say goodnight," you should have just hit that.
No. When I seen him call, I like, man, something ain't right.
Because I don't call nobody. So it's like, now I'm gonna tell y'all answered my phone call right away. But when I called Logan, it rang once and went straight to voicemail.
It's because I hate you. I put my kids to sleep. The notifications gotta be on silent. Can't be waking anybody up. So.
But you answered on the second ring.
I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're all right. No medical emergency. Just some silly TikTok stuff.
Some silly TikTok. So I appreciate y'all letting me play on y'all phone. But Commanders family, we do this all for y'all. For Logan Paulson, Fred Smoot, Santana Moss, I'm Brian Colbert Jr. We'll catch y'all next week. We out.
Peace.